this is Lula LV. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me today. As always, I hope you're having a good one. In today's video, we have an unboxing of an exchange and an update to the 1-year wear and tear review video that I published, I believe in April, about 2 months ago, on my Louis Vuitton Neverfull in Empreinte leather in the turtle dove color. So I have an update to that video. If you haven't seen that review video yet, I suggest starting there. So I will include a video link above as well as in the description box below. Start there and then come back, see the update I have for you. And before we get started, as always, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. So in today's video, as I mentioned, I will update you on the status of my Neverfull and Empreinte leather. I will let you know what happened. I did end up reaching out to LV Repair Services and I did exchange it. So you'll get to see what I exchanged my Neverfull for. And I will also let you know about the whole process, how I initiated the repair, how long it took, how much it cost, answering questions you may have about working with LV Repair Services. And I will say I was very happy with the entire process. It went very quickly, it was very smooth, so I had a really great experience. Now let's open this up. I'll show you what I have. And as I'm doing that, I will tell you a little bit about what happened with my last Neverfull. I was very happy with how the item wore over the past year. It was in the Empreinte leather, and I ordered it, as I said, right when the item was released. The Neverfull just became available in Empreinte leather in 2021. I believe it was released in March. I ordered it right away in the turtle dove color, and there was very little wear. I was very happy with how the item wore inside, outside. There were really no obvious signs of use on the item, except, as I said, I did order it in turtle dove, and there's a known issue with the turtle dove color. I've only heard this for the Neverfull. I have not heard this for other styles like the push-up Matisse in that material, that type of leather and that color. I've only heard this with the Neverfull. There was an issue with the leather yellowing, particularly along the base and the sides, so along the seams. In my wear and tear video, I mentioned this known issue, and I said it had not happened to my Neverfull. When I brought the bag out, when I looked at it with my own eyes, just in the light inside, I even took it to a window to look at it in natural lighting, I didn't notice the yellow. So then I filmed the video, and as I'm filming, I'm looking at the bag in person, and I'm also looking at the film on my camera. And in the film on camera, you can see some light yellowing around the base. So I was like, oh, that's funny. I couldn't really see it. And I wasn't just saying that. I really could not see it when I looked in person at the item. So I published the video. I put the bag away for a little bit. And a few people did comment on the video that the base did look yellow and suggested contacting repair services. So that was what I did. I took some photos that I sent over to LV. I also took some video. I'll insert that video footage here so you can see the degree of yellow on the leather. It wasn't very noticeable, but it was noticeable enough that it was happening. So I decided I wasn't going to wait. I would just contact repair services and see what happened. That was a little bit of a long-winded backstory. Now, what I'm going to do is I will answer all your questions about working with repair services. So the number one question I'm going to start with answering is, how did I initiate the process? I contacted my client advisor and just asked her what she suggested, and she said to go into the app. There is a form to contact repair services. I can do that. And if I needed any assistance, feel free to reach out to her and let her know. So point being, I reached out to my CA first. You really don't have to do that. You can just go right into the app or the website, go to the tab for repair services. You should have a My LV account, and you can fill in the form with all the information about what item you have, what the issue is, and they will also request you attach photos of the bag, all the exterior as well as interior. And when you fill out the form at the end, you will be prompted to select an appointment date for either a phone call or a video call. So that was how I started the entire process. Second question, how long did it take? Because my item was deemed defective, it was not actually repaired. Instead, Louis Vuitton said I could exchange it. My whole process took 4 weeks start to finish, which is very, very quick. I will say I have heard many stories of people whose items are with repair services for 6 months or even longer because they are sent to the workshop, the atelier in France to be repaired and then shipped back to the client. So when there is an actual piece of your item that needs to be physically repaired, it does take much longer. Because my item was exchanged, it took 4 weeks start to finish. My third question I'm going to answer is, what was the cost? My cost was $0 because, again, the item was deemed defective. This was deemed to be a fault of the item, a defect of the item. It was nothing I did that had to be repaired. So I was offered an exchange at the full value of the product. I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail when I go over the whole process start to finish. However, during the preliminary assessment, a repair specialist will look at your item and they will give you an estimate for the repair. So for example, if this was the canvas Neverfull and I wanted the vachetta trim replaced, there would be a cost for that. Repairs are not included in whatever you paid for the item. You do have to pay separately for repairs. So during the assessment phase, they will provide you a quote for how much the service costs. And then at that point, you can either approve and proceed with the repair, or you can decline the offer and not have your item repaired at that cost. Now what I'm going to do is go over the entire process from start to finish, step by step, and what you can expect with repair services. And again, this was an online request for repair services. I found the whole process very easy, very seamless. I liked it and I would highly recommend it. In the Louis Vuitton app, when you initiate a repair, you will see there are 9 steps in the entire repair process. So I'm going to go by each step and I will let you know at what day in the process that was. My entire process took 33 days from start to finish. The number 1 step is to submit your request. I submitted my request on May 1st. That will be day 1 for this whole process overview. The second step of the process is preliminary assessment. My preliminary assessment date was on May 5th. That was the appointment date I selected for either a video or phone call when I submitted my request. The request was received at Louis Vuitton. A repair specialist, I assume, looked at the photos I attached with my request. I said that the issue was yellowing leather on my Turtle Dove Neverfull. I attached several photos. I received an email response the day before my appointment, so that would be May 4th, day 4, stating that a solution could not be decided based on the photo, so I would need to send my item to the atelier. So they send me a free shipping label. I did not have to pay for shipping. I brought my item in to the UPS store on May 9th. Now we're on step 3, which is to ship to the atelier. May 9th, I took my Neverfull to the UPS store with the free shipping label. They boxed it up for me and it was off to California. I live in the United States and that was where I shipped to, California. Step 4 is received at the atelier, and LV received my product on May 13th. So that's day 13. Then we're on to step 5 now, which is under assessment. So between day 13 and day 20, there is a 1-week period where my item was, I'm assuming, waiting for most of that time in line with other items waiting to be assessed. And then it was assessed for the repair. And I received a reply email on the 20th. So this is day 20. I'm going to pull up the email and read in part what I received. They said, "Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to service your item. After assessment of your Neverfull, we found it to be in your best interest to honor a product exchange." And I was offered to apply the item's full value towards a Louis Vuitton item of equal or greater value. I exchanged this for another Neverfull, so it was, like an apples to apples exchange for an exact item, just in a different color. So the receipt I received said I returned my Empreinte Neverfull for the value of $2,710 and then purchased this one for the value of $2,710. So I assume if I were to exchange this for a different item, say an on-the-go taupe, that the current value of my Neverfull would be applied to the on-the-go, not what I paid, which was $2,200 and change. That is something to keep in mind if you are offered an exchange. You may want to clarify that point. If there's been a price increase since you purchased your item, you may want to clarify that. I did not, because I just exchanged it and even exchanged for a new Neverfull. So in the email response, I was offered to either request an in-store appointment or submit the item I wanted online. So what I did was I just replied to the email 2 days later. I said my requested item was the Neverfull in Empreinte Black. The alternative item was the Neverfull in Turtle Dove again, and then I provided my shipping address. I received a reply that my request was received and would be sent to the appropriate party the next day. So this was day 24. The next step after the repair is finished is payment. So if you are actually getting your item repaired, after the repair is done is when you would be requested to pay. However, I did not have to pay because my item was deemed to be defective. A week later, on June 1st, now it's day 32, I just received a receipt in my email out of nowhere with my old Neverfull being shown as returned and this new Neverfull being shown as checked out. And then it was overnighted to me. I received my bag the next day. So it came very quickly. It was shipped from a store in my state. I live in New Jersey, and it was very quick. I received the item, I opened it up, I got it in a new box, dust bag, everything. I'm really happy with it. I only have 2 small complaints with the whole process. Number 1, the preliminary assessment, when I scheduled my appointment on May 5th with the repair specialist to review my item, that was of course canceled because I received an email the day before stating they didn't have a solution and I had to mail the item to them. However, in that email, they did not explicitly cancel my appointment. I assumed it was canceled because they sent me a shipping label and said to send the item back. However, the next day at my appointment time, I did just make sure I had my phone on me and I was available at that time in case they called. So that's the one complaint. They did not explicitly cancel my appointment. I assumed it was canceled. Nobody called. So not a huge deal, but it would have been nice to receive an actual cancellation for that appointment. And the second issue also has to do with the shipping. When I received the shipping label, and again, this is a really minor point, but they did not include any instructions on how to ship the item back. So I just took the Neverfull with the pochette inside. I made sure everything was clean. I made sure I didn't leave any personal items in the bag. I put it in the dust bag and that was how it was shipped. I did not include anything else I received with the bag. Of course, my original paperwork. The box I didn't ship back. I didn't think it was necessary to ship the box to them. So that was how I shipped my item, but that's my only other small complaint, is they did not include any instructions on how to ship the item back. But other than that, it was a really smooth process. It was quick. I really liked that I didn't have to speak with anyone. I personally liked that everything was done via email and via the app. First of all, then there is a paper trail, so I had a record of what was said and when, in case there were any issues further down the line. And also for me, it's just a matter of convenience. I really liked that I was able to just ship it, do everything online at a time that was convenient for me. And it was really easy to fit into my schedule. So if you have a busy schedule, I would really recommend looking at the online repair services. So I hope this was helpful. I hope I answered all of your questions. If you have any questions about the wear and tear, the Empreinte Neverfull, the turtle dove versus the black, or the repair services experience, feel free to please comment below. And of course, as always, if this was helpful, I would appreciate you liking this video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. As always, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for sticking here with me. Bye-bye now.